Hello, my name is Joanne Knight. Welcome to the barn, or in this case, welcome to the hotel room because I'm doing a little multitasking today. There is a technique that I teach in my classes sometimes, and students seem to really like it and say that it helps them. And I haven't put it in a barn buddy, so I'm going to do that for you today. I did include it in my edge to edge video, but I just think it would be helpful to show it to you in just a little small segment. So this is what we're going to do. You have a customer that comes in and she has this quilt and it is 3 repeats and 3 rows, and these blocks are 12 inches that she has. I want you to stop and think about how you would place the patterns on these blocks to be able to audition them for that customer so that she can see what it is that her quilt is going to look like. If you would just drag them over, if you're using version 7, or if you would use repeat patterns with version 6 to place each one of those blocks on the screen, then that's going to be a little bit of work for you to be able to do it that way, because you would have to do that 9 times. I want to show you a little bit easier way to do that. So I'm going to delete these off the screen. What we're going to do is we are going to concatenate this quilt. I'm going to select my first pattern and I have to right click and view the properties, and I need to change that pattern to whatever the size of my block is, my pieced block, and in this case it's 12 inches. So I'm going to hit save and close, and you see that this pattern is by Deb Geisler. Save and close. I'm going to choose that pattern first. It doesn't matter what the size of the next patterns are. They are all going to inherit the size of this first one. Hold down my control key. I'm going to select this one because this is the one of the ones that was too big, and I want you to see the difference. And I'm going to randomly select 9 different patterns. Oh, I'm going to go back down here and I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to pick this one, and maybe I will pick, let's see if I got another one down here, this one. Now at this point, I'm going to let go of my control key, and I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention, and I'm not real sure how many patterns I chose. So I'm going to right click, and Creative Studio tells me that I have 10 patterns. And that's okay, because what it's going to do is it's going to fill in the number of repeats and rows that I tell it to, and just leave off whichever pattern was the 10th one. I'm going to repeat patterns. I'm going to change my point type to upper left, and I am going to left click on the very corner of this block, and you see that that pattern goes in there just exactly like it's supposed to. Close the point location, close the pattern size because I don't need it, and repeat patterns is going to jump a little bit on you sometimes because it's going to go, oh, I'm sorry, you're talking to me. I need to lock repeats and rows, and I'm going to change my number to 3 repeats and 3 rows because that's how many I've got. Connect is unchecked because these blocks will not sew continuously, and Creative Studio knows that. I am going to close my setup box with my total size so that I can get to my spacing block. I have 2 inches of horizontal sashing and 2 inches of vertical sashing, and I'm going to say OK, and now that shows my customer exactly what those blocks are going to look like in her quilt. And it also shows her this block is going to cost me more money, this number 7, than perhaps number 5 will, or number 4, or either number 9. So that's going to give you a little bit of credibility as far as your work's concerned as well. Block number 7 is going to cover up all of her piecing Block number 4 is going to let her piecing shine through. So you were able to see how those seam lines hit in that block and what it's going to look like, and so will your customer. I hope this helps you. It's really easy to do, and I have found it really useful in auditioning quilt patterns on my quilt. Thank you.